I'm Jolly, the Crimson Star Jester, and I thought up a crazy theory. You've probably heard about Genndy Tartakovsky. He's a creator of cult show Samurai Jack, which was, or rather is, beloved by lots of people. For most of you, it's probably a childhood cartoon you've seen on Cartoon Network. For me, however, that wasn't the case. I must admit, as a kid I never actually liked Samurai Jack. I wasn't really fan of that type of silent action. I always thought the show was boring. Recently, a lot of shows from Adult Swim, which I can't watch in my region, were added to HBO Max. After seeing Smiling Friends, which is hilarious by the way, I realized the entirety of Samurai Jack was added. I was aware of the R-rated Samurai Jack final season for quite a bit, but I've never seen it because I couldn't find the whole show anywhere, and I'm not a skipper. I don't skip JoJo parts, so why would I skip other series seasons? Anyway, I'm watching Samurai Jack right now. Well, not right now, because right now I'm reading the script, but you know what I mean. I love this show. It's probably one of the best things ever since sliced bread. The comedy, the action, the story, oh god, it's all so amazing. But it's not a review, so let me stop praising it. Actually, I'm a huge fan of another show made by Genndy Tartakovsky. You probably already heard about Primal. It's a show about a caveman and a dinosaur. It's a very brutal show and definitely targets a more mature audience with its themes and story. I won't spoil any of it, at least I'll try to keep the spoilers to minimum, so you can go and watch this show either on Adult Swim or HBO Max. And trust me, you wanna do that right now or right after watching this video. If you already know Primal and you keep up with its second season, you're the best, and let me tell you, that bitch got what she deserved, right? If you didn't see the show, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. Told you, go and watch the fucking show right now. Anyway, watching Primal and Samurai Jack at the same time actually gave me an idea. I see a lot of similarities between those two universes. Shows themselves are very similar, but it's just Genndy Tartakovsky style, so no shit they looked similar. Actually, watching those two shows side by side, I got an idea. I've cooked up a theory. A film. Oh, wait, it's not that show. Anyway, what if Samurai Jack and Primal share the same universe? Now, that's probably not the case, and I'm well aware of that, but it's still fun to theorize. Actually, my theory is composed of two theories, but I'll get to that later. First, let's talk Primal. It's about a caveman that for some reasons goes for an adventure with a dinosaur, which is probably a T-Rex, but I don't know. My knowledge about dinosaurs is that I can name 3 species and that's not even close. Anyway, Primal's world is a strange one, like very strange one. It's not a 100% prehistory, it's more of a fantasy world based on prehistory. What seemed the most strange to me is how many types of humans you have in this world, which is even more amplified in recent season 2. In one world you have cavemans, something that looks like a pre-caveman people, no idea what you call those. You have witches, monkey people, and on top of that you have a whole civilizations based of Celtic people, Vikings, Persians, I think, Romans. You have a lot of different people there. So, remember when I said my theory is actually composed of 2 theories? Yeah, here is where theory number 1 comes to place. Primal is not a prehistoric tale, it's actually a post-apocalyptic future. Episode 5 in season 2 is actually what made me think of that. That episode takes place in England, probably the 18th century or something close to the editor's note. it was actually the 19th century, almost 20th century. A bunch of aristocrats are making fun of Charles Darwin, the creator of evolution theory, because of his theory about how every species on Earth has a primal gene in them, which could one day bring us back to our primal savage forms, if we will need that to survive. A need to survive is what makes evolution happen, or in that case you could call it a devolution. A need for survival that will bring our primal instincts, revert you back to the savage form we all had before intelligence and civilization. And you know what? I think that theory is correct. Well, maybe not quite in the real life, but in Primal universe at least. Everyone laughs at Charles for the theory, because, oh wow, you're so educated and we are civilized, we are on top of the food chain, haha, quite. But guess what? Turns out there is a savage on the loose, an escapee from a psychic asylum. Who acts, well, like a savage. He is literally the definition of primal instinct. He acts like a caveman, but I don't think he's just simply crazy. I mean, he could be. He's a murderer, and God knows what else. But I think that's not what makes him so savage, but rather those primal instinct and genes Charles was talking about. He is the first, or rather one of the first one to turn primal. He was probably a poor man, fighting for survival every day, and that made him devolve. He simply adapted for that kind of survival. Later in that episode we see Charles's friend, or rather a colleague, named Sir Darlington, unlocks his primal instinct too and fights with the escapee mano a mano like a caveman versus a caveman, which only proves Charles's theory even further. He even calls him on that.
And there you have it!
How could this happen to me? I made my mistakes, got nowhere to run.
So two people actually showed us those savage genes in one episode, and by that we can assume it's really true. Wait, I just realized Charles Darwin looks a lot like Hugh Jackman in that episode. Oh god, I can't unsee it now. Wolverine, is that you? Anyway, we can assume the primal theory is actually true, and with the right circumstances we can have entire humanity turn into savages. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, because it's popular nowadays to put smart sounding quotes into famous educated people, so can't really say if that's true or not, but having said that, I believe Albert Einstein said, "I know not with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones." But what does that mean? Simply put, World War III will be so devastating and destructive, it will basically end, or rather reset, human civilization. And I think we can actually see that in Primal. I can't really say how many years have passed, but it had to be a lot, because some people actually changed not only mentally, but also physically. You can say they either evolved or devolved. Some became more animal-like, some are just very similar to cavemen and other prehistoric type of humans. People we see in show aren't actually Charles or Darlington ancestors. Charles and Darlington are their ancestors. Humanity simply devolved from a learned man to something below that, something less complicated and intelligent. Not only people, animals too. Entire Earth became the way it used to be. Clean air, waters, no sign of human civilization. Animals became what they used to be. Chicken became dinosaurs, lizards became big lizards. Some animals evolved in a way they become bigger and stronger, like bats and spiders. Not even talking about gorillas, because they are beasts right now. When you see Vikings or Celts in Primal Season 2, you don't see people starting a civilization, you see people coming back to the civilization. Okay, so what? Everything became primal because of the primal genes and a need for survival. So what does it have to do with Primal being linked to Samurai Jack? Well, Primal actually takes place before Samurai Jack. And not in a sense that it's thousands upon thousands years apart. That sounds crazy, I know, but let me just tell you, hear me out and that will make so much sense. But that will be something for part 2. I know, I said some crazy things and you're probably thirsty for more of this amazing crazy theory, but hey, this video is already quite long. Besides, I want more content on my channel, so let me just tell you right now. This theory will probably be a 2 or 3 part thing, so there will still be at least 2 more videos. Can we get at least 5 likes? That would really motivate me to elaborate on my theory. Keep it jolly, I'll be watching you in your sleep.